techniques to do things. One of them is pattern recognition, crowd noise. So in a cocktail party like this, if I say, David, Sarah, pay attention, some of you the setup. We recognize patterns to distinguish noise from signal, and especially our name. Differencing is another technique we use. If I left this ping noise on for more than a couple of minutes, you would literally cease to hear it. We'll listen to the differences when the scale sounds that remain the same, and then there are a whole range of filters. These filters take us from all sound down to what we pay attention to. Most people are entirely unconscious of these filters, but they actually create our reality in a way because they tell us that we're paying attention to right now. I'll give you one example of that. Intention is very important in sound, in listening. When I married my wife, I promised her I would listen to her every day as if for the first time. Now, that's something I foreshadow on a daily basis, but it's a great intention to have in a relationship. But that's not all. Sound places her in space and in time. If you close your eyes right now in this room, you are aware of the size of the room from the reverberation and the bouncing of the sound of the surface. You are aware of how many people are all around you because of micro noises you are receiving, and sound places are in time as well, because sound always has time embedded in it. In fact, I would suggest that our listening is the main way that we experience the flow of time from past to future. So sonority is time and meaning is great work. I said at the beginning, we're losing our listening. Why did I say that? Well, there are a lot of reasons for this. First of all, we invented ways of recording, first writing, then audio recording, and now video recording as well. The premium on accurate and careful listening has simply disappeared. Secondly, the world is now so noisy. With this cacophony going visually and auditorily, it's just hard to listen. It's tiring to listen. Many people take refuge in headphones, but they turn big public spaces like this shared soundscapes into millions of tiny little personal sound bubbles. In this scenario, nobody listens to anybody. We're becoming impatient. We don't want oratory anymore. We want sound bites. And the art of conversation is being replaced dangerously, I think, by personal broadcasting. I don't know how much listening there is in this conversation, which is sadly very common, especially in the UK. We're becoming desensitized. Our media has to scream at us with these kinds of headlines in order to get our attention. And that means it's harder for us to pay attention to the quiet, the subtle, and the understated. This is a serious problem. We are losing our listening. This is not trivial because our listening is our access to understanding. Conscious listening always creates understanding, and only without conscious listening can this thing happen. A world where we don't listen to each other at all is a very scary place indeed. So I'd like to share with you 5 example exercise, tools you can take away with you to improve your own conscious listening. Would you like that? Yes? Good. The first one is silence. This 3 minutes a day of silence is a wonderful exercise to reset your ears and to recalibrate so that you can hear the quiet again. If you can get absolute silence, go for quiet. That's absolutely fine. Second, I call this the mixer. So even if you are in a noisy environment like this, and we'll all spend a lot of time in places like this, listen in a coffee bar to how many channels of sound can I hear? How many individual channels that in the mix am I listening to? You can do it in the beautiful places as well, like in a lake. How many birds am I hearing? Where are they? Where are the ripples? It's a great exercise for improving the quality of your listening. Third, this exercise I call savory, and this is a beautiful exercise. It's about enjoying mundane sounds. This, for example, is my tumble dryer. It's the words 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I love it. Or just try one on for size. Wow, so mundane sounds can be really interesting. If you pay attention, I call that the hidden choir. It's around all the time. The next exercise is probably the most important of all of this. If you just take one thing away, this is listening precision. The idea that you can move your listening precision to what's appropriate to what you're listening to. This play window theater, remember I gave you those theaters, is starting to play with them as levers, to get conscious about them and to move to different places. These are just some of the listening precisions or skills of listening precisions that you can use. There are many. Have fun with that. It's very exciting. And finally, acronym. You can use this in listening, in communication. If you are in one of those roles, and I think that probably is everyone who's listening to this talk, the acronym is RASA, which is the Sanskrit words for juice and essence, and RASA stands for receive, which means pay attention to a person. Appreciate, making little noise like, okay. Summarize, the word so is very important in communication. And ask questions afterward. Now sound is my person, it's my life. I wrote a whole book about it, so I live to listen. That's too much to ask for most people, but I believe that every human being needs to listen consciously in order to live fully, connected in space and in time to the physical world around us, connected in understanding to each other, not to mention spiritually connected, because every spiritual path I know of has listening and contemplation as the parts. That's why we need to teach listening in our school as a skill. Why it's not taught is crazy, and if we can teach listening in our schools, we can take our listening off that slippery slope to that dangerous, scary word that I talked about, and move it to a place where everybody is conscious, listening all the time, or at least capable of doing it. Thank you for listening to me today.